Montoir is going live on Kickstarter October 10th, which may be today or tomorrow, depending on when this video goes up. And this new brand hails from Chicago, but their first model is Swiss made and it's a basic and clean skin diver. Now, when I say basic, that's not a bad thing. This is a clean, straightforward, no nonsense diver. It's just over 40 millimeters, and even with the top hat sapphire, it's only 11.5 millimeters thick, and it houses the SW200-1 movement. It will be available in 5 different colorways: black, blue, polar white, orange, and turquoise, all with matching straps except for the polar white. Retail pricing is $750, but super early bird pledges will be able to snag one for $375. This one I have here is the blue dial, and they put it on an orange tropic, which I will say is a nice look. And this is a prototype or production sample, but I'll discuss all that in this video. So before we get into this, let's get all of the Kickstarter info and other things out of the way. This will be live on Kickstarter October 10th at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Like I said, retail is $750, but early bird is $375 for the first 50 pledges. Regular early bird price of $399, limited to 150, and then standard pledge price of $435, which of course is unlimited and will be the price for the rest of the campaign after the others sell out. Now, I'm unsure if there will be any stretch goals or add-ons. Now, just like always, this is a review, and I'm just passing along this info, and in no way am I partnered with this brand or will receive any kickbacks from their KS campaign. Like all Kickstarter campaigns, do your research and pledge at your own risk. Okay, with that out of the way, let me preface that this is a production sample, and there are a few issues I have found, and I imagine they will be rectified come production. It's hard to talk about overall quality with these pieces, but I will point out the issues I have seen and then discuss the overall design, look, and feel. I do not have packaging or the box, so I cannot comment on that. And this Tropic strap is missing the brand logo on the underside and on the buckle. And the two issues that I noticed is the bezel is just ever so slightly off. It is about one tick off from centering up perfectly, and the bezel does have more play in it than I would like. The other issue is the lug channel looks pretty rough and unfinished, and the strap kind of catches on this and doesn't flow free. I am hoping this will be finished much nicer come production and will allow little room for the strap to not get kinked up. Now, Montoir reached out to me, and with so many brands that do pre-orders and KS campaigns, I'll be honest, I ignore a lot of them who ask for a review or a post about them. Why? Well, many reasons actually, but mostly because I don't like the look of the watch or the look of the brand marketing. And while you can never be 100%, I try not to review products that I feel like they won't deliver and are just another throwaway design. The Montoir immediately caught my eye for the simple and clean skin diver design, and while this design is far from revolutionary, I like the look of this piece. The bezel and bezel insert remind me of Unimatic, and no, it's not exact, but it's similar, and I like the look with it being fully indexed. The case design is, well, it's a skin diver. We've seen this blocky case design in so many of these watches, and these days there are so many of them on the market, from Baltic or Wallowbrook, or of course the ever popular Seiko 62 MAS. The sidewall itself is just about 6.5 millimeters thick, or thin, I should say, and yes, 11.5 millimeters with the caseback and that top hat crystal included, which makes this a very wearable piece. The case finishing is a very fine satin brushing, so much so you have to get close to see the brush grain direction, and as such, it not only looks good, but it's very smooth to the touch. The 6.5 millimeter diameter crown is nice and large and easy to grasp with my hands. The crown actually sticks out from the case about 3.5 millimeters, and I am so glad this is not a wimpy small crown, even though this is a smaller sized watch. The crown may be large, but it's set into the case properly, and with the case back being a little thick, I don't find the crown digging into the back of my hand when wearing it. Simple and clean extend to the dial, and again, that is a pro in my opinion. The dial is not cluttered and the text is kept to a minimum, but maybe too much though. I think the text size could be just a little bit larger, especially the water resistant and 200-meter text, as it's pretty small and hard to read. And while no one needs to read this daily, I think the text could be larger. The painted markers look pretty good, and I have no issue with the stick hands, but I do wish the second hand had some lume on it, even if just a tip, or go with a fully lumed white second hand. One more thing missing here is the words Swiss made at the bottom of the dial. This sample doesn't have it. It may have been one of the first samples made compared to the others, so that's probably why it doesn't have it. Again, remember, this is a sample piece, possibly an early sample piece. The caseback is a nice stamped design, smooth to the touch, which is nice, no rough edges here. But I will say the diver helmet does remind me of Deep Blue, but I like it, and for me, it's better than a plain caseback or seeing a boring, undecorated SW200. The lume is pretty good here too, BGW9 of course, so that nice blue hue. The bezel isn't fully lumed, and most of these styles aren't, and to be honest, I prefer that just the pip is lumed as this is. On this prototype, it's good for about 3 hours or so. Keep in mind the area isn't very large for lume applications, so I didn't expect it to be an all-night lume monster. On my 7.5-inch or 19.05 centimeter wrist is a very good looking and wearable watch. This is one of those watches I could strap on my wrist and just leave on for days and days. You know it's there as the case is steel, but it's not so large or heavy to be intrusive. I do hope the strap lug issue is addressed for production. I would just like a little more articulation, but other than that, I love how this piece wears. Like I said, there are so many of these styles of watches out there, and it takes a lot to stand out, but I do like the simplicity of this Montoir skin diver. The design is cohesive, the case is slim, but it looks great with that dome sapphire. The crown is large and easily used, and while this blue is nice, some of the other colors really look good as well. The retail price is solid, but obviously being able to get it for 40 or 50% off is much better. So if you like it and want to get one at that price, you'll want to check out their Kickstarter. Everything is linked below down in the description, as well as a written review by me with a mix of my photos as well as some press photos. Of course, I want to hear from you, so if you have any questions, please ask below. Liking this video, sharing, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell help you continue to see our reviews, but also greatly help with the algorithm, so please consider doing all of it. This is Don Evans from Watch Report. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.